Hope your week went well. Hope everyone had a good week of work. So I'm seeing, I don't know if this is really in the news big, but it's certainly on Twitter big. There's this huge hubbub about how Russia is about to invade Ukraine. So I'm certainly not an expert on Ukraine, but I kind of know the basic outline of what has happened. Um, I would suggest everyone go watch my video with Scott Horton that I did like a week ago, and we go in depth on it. But the narrative surrounding Ukraine is just completely bogus. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I'm going to try to paint it in a slightly different light. Imagine that the United States had an important port in Mexico, and that we had once been the North American Union, sort of like Russia used to be the Soviet Union. So, like Canada, the United States, and Mexico were all one thing at one time. And there had been a deal established, 30 years ago that there was this port that we were allowed to use in Mexico, and it was super important and just easy to access or whatever. So, imagine that's the case, and then we break up into our separate countries, and we still have this port. So then in 2014, imagine China decides after Mexico has its election that they don't like who Mexico chose for their government. So they go in and they stage a coup with a bunch of partisans they find in the streets. They stage a coup, they overthrow that government, and then that government tries to kick the United States out of this very important port that we've established over, through a deal that happened decades earlier. And so then in retaliation, the United States just steps in and says, hey, nope, this is our port. And in fact, just get out of this province. So we take over one province of Mexico, wherever this port is. And there's no bloodshed. We just say, nope, get out. This is our port. We have a deal. This is the way it was. And they leave. And then imagine that the media portrays this as some sort of violent war that we wage on Mexico for no reason at all. And then, say 8 years later, China starts all this propaganda while the United States is doing drills a couple hundred miles from the border of Mexico that we're about to invade Mexico. So then China decides to send thousands of troops to Guatemala and start massing them on the border when there's no proof that we had ever had an intention of invading all of Mexico, even though we had this one province where we were protecting this port. That's what's going on right now with Ukraine. And I don't know if Russia's going to do anything. I mean, we've been hyping this up since November that they're going to do something, and they haven't. It's all been bullshit. But if they do, like, look at all the troops we're massing in Poland and all the pressure we're putting on them. I mean, it's not it's not like it's this cut and dry image that we're trying to portray that they're just aggressive and they just want to take over Ukraine because they have imperialist goals. And also, even if that were completely true, even if that it was exactly what Putin was doing, and he's just they're just a horrible country that wants to invade the world, even if that were true, why would we get involved with Ukraine? I mean, they're not a free democracy like we've tried to describe them as. I mean, the puppet government that we installed back in 2014 was neo-Nazis. And not like Chris Cantwell basement dwelling morons, like sons and grandsons of the Waffen SS of the Third Reich, like actual fucking Nazis. So, like, everyone just chill out. They lied about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. They lied about Assad gassing hundreds of thousands of his own people. They lie every year about nukes in Iran. They've lied profusely about COVID. I mean, think domestically about all the shit they've lied about. So why are you just going to start believing them when they start talking about Russia? But that's it. I just wanted to throw that out there. Try to look at this in a different light. Like, try to place ourselves in this sort of situation and see how we would react. But I gotta go. I will catch you guys later.